Um, this is a recording of a game for the Tournament of Strategy at Duat 2, where we played a 2v2. It's a fairly strong team we're facing here, with Second Bagla, who is a player who was by many considered the best never in the game at some point, and Lead Bagla, who is a never that's been around for very long as well. So we expected a fairly strong matchup. At the start, there is two options actually. There's you can see that here, but there's 3 points on the left as well. So you can decide to split up as a team and let one go to the cluster by covering those 3 points on the left, or you can decide to actually start with two on the same side. In my opinion, starting with two on the same side is stronger, because you have a bit of an advantage and you can exploit it in many ways. Either one ship can decide to rush for the points, while the second ship can try to block the opponent or get free shots. You can also just bump your one of your ships to get faster Duke points. So teaming with two is stronger in my opinion. They decide to both spawn on the right side as well, to not give us too big of an advantage if we would be 2v1. So that's how it starts. As you can see here, Kevin will give me that one forward bump. So that's how we try to use our advantage, by being here with two ships. They obviously didn't get that chance because they had worse spawns. So yeah. From now on, it's me. My task is very clear. I need to get 2 points very soon, as soon as possible actually. Because on this map, playing 2v2, the scores of points will be very low. It's two great teams, so there shouldn't be it shouldn't be a great sync fest. And unless you double sync your opponent, like unless you sync both of the opponent ships at the same time, you won't get too much points from syncs either, because one ship can still cover most of the cluster. So for me, it's now all about getting to these points as soon as possible and creating a lead that way. So Second Bagla probably knows I'm actually gonna do pause, right, forward, left, covering 3 points already, and he could counter by doing right, pause, pause, left, getting 4 shots, but it's not a good option in my opinion. After that, if I do, yeah, I will go a bit further. If I do the right, forward, left, as I have here, after that I can do right, forward, right, and the second Bagla, if it did right, pause, pause, left, could not come in a position the turn after to trade with me. So that's another turn I get to heal. The turn after, Kevin will almost be on point, so I get to choose whether I will cover this side or the side that is more here actually. I can't point that, but I will have another turn where I can evade, because I get to choose which cluster I pick. So even if he goes up 4 shots on me, he won't have any advantage of that, because the turn we actually get to trade again, I would have gotten rid of that damage again, because I would have healed. So he makes the right decision not to do right, pause, pause, left. Like these shots, they might look cool, but if he won't get to trade with me for another 4 turns after that, then those shots are actually worthless. Here, yeah, I'm just aiming for the hotspot, as I announced earlier. I will do a right, forward, right. He might do right, pause, left, forward. He would go up 2 shots on me then, but then again I would just try to evade a bit, and even if he goes up 2 shots on me, that's not too big of a deal, because I still get those points, which is more important in the start. He makes a move that covers a lot of points as well, covers the 3, covers the 1, covers the 2. Here I'm doing, I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. I'm doing a left, pause, left, forward, just to make sure they can't go out of the whirlpool this way. I want to block them on the second if they want to try that. So they have to make another decision using that whirlpool. They both were facing that whirlpool, and they couldn't just go out this way because I could block that. So that's why the second Bagla actually had to make a move like this, and I got an advantage. Well, he didn't really need to, but it's one of the options he could do, and I had that one countered. So now in the start, the cluster is kind of divided in two sides. There's this left side, which I'm covering with the 3 and the 1. There's the 3 pointer, which Kevin is covering. And then the 2 and the 1 pointer in the middle, you should kinda take turns in with covering them. You always have to communicate. Either you say you have them, or you tell your teammate you don't have them, so he can get to cover them. But yeah, you just divide the cluster. Most of the time this 2 pointer will be covered by both. So as you can see here, the blue ships are very close to each other, while me and Kevin are more separated. For us, that was the decision we wanted to play with in the start, because being farther from each other is just easier to play. You will avoid friendly fire, you just have to communicate which points you are covering, and it's easy like that. You don't risk bumping your teammate, you don't risk friendly fire. Blue ships are very close to each other, and that has advantages too. The blue ships can do cluster swaps if they want. Like this one is now covering the right side, he might cover the left side next turn, and be less predictable that way. Sometimes they can just bump each other to get a positional advantage, or in some cases they can just make a move together that makes sure they get +2 on one of our ships. Because like if one ship is in my back, then me sitting or going forward will result in them getting +2. And if the other one is next to me, like here, then if I do a right or left, I would get +2 by the other ship. So yeah, teaming up close has a few advantages. Teaming up farther from each other is just easier. So that's why we wanted to keep some distance in the start. As you can see here, this is an example of what I just explained. Lead Bagla can do a right, second Bagla can do a right, and Kevin will go down 2 shots no matter what. There's no way to counter. So that's the advantage they have by teaming up more close. I think here we see the disadvantage of their choice in the start. If I recall correctly, the second Bagla missed 2 shots here. So that's a disadvantage you have by teaming up close. I think they didn't communicate in time, or he just didn't want to shoot his teammate. So that's how I got 2 free shots. Here again, they, like last move, I did a right forward, and me and Lead Bagla were in the same position, and right forward was a strong move in my opinion. Here I don't do the right forward again though, because it's dangerous now. With second Bagla being close, they again have some advantages to they have some advantages. For example, they can do a cluster switch on me. Like second Bagla can do a forward, Lead Bagla does right left was right, and they just have a very strong positioning, and me doing right forward would get owned really hard. So that's why I don't do a right forward again. And go for a forward right forward, which in my opinion would work in a lot of situations just to get +2 shots. So yeah, here I get those +2 shots. Kevin gets another +2. So here again, if they want to, like normally, if it's me versus Lead Bagla, me doing right forward is very safe. Fairly safe. Or just doing a right. Let's say I just do a right, and it's very safe against Lead Bagla. Now though, because they are very close to each other, they can decide to bump each other and try to get an advantage that way. That's what they actually tried. I didn't turn into them though. We just decided both to cover our parts. Me covering this side, Kevin covering the other side. Here again I can just sit, because Kevin is having really good point coverage on these 6 points. I can just sit and wait to see what lead Bagla is doing. Here lead Bagla has two options in my opinion, either a forward right or a forward left, so even though pause right forward doesn't look that safe, it will work out most of the time. Here I am doing a pause forward and not just a forward, because it will also cover lead Bagla doing left left right. The forward is good because it will block him if he goes into the whirlpool as well. Here I'm just sitting. I don't want the lead Bagla to get out of the whirlpool where I'm standing here, so I force him to actually take the long way. That actually nets us this 1 point here, I think. Otherwise, if I went away and he went out of the whirlpool where I was sitting, then he could have covered that 1 pointer. So yeah, very important in these 2v2s is not to have tunnel vision. Always watch the other 1v1 as well, and make sure to shoot whenever you can hit the opponent. Like most beginning nevers make the mistake to focus too much on their 1v1 and not realize that they can actually shoot the second Bagla, or that they can get shot by the second Bagla. Here we make a small mistake in communication. I think I don't know what exactly we said, but yeah, we just made a small mistake in communication. So yeah, we traded 2 shots and we dropped a 3-pointer, but that's not too big of a deal. So yeah, here I'm sitting on first, because then the second Bagla can't. I will have to go back for a bit because it was too fast. So I'm sitting on first here, because then the second Bagla doing a forward would get countered. So even though it's more of a 1v1, me versus lead Bagla, I'm always watching the second Bagla as well and seeing if I can have an influence on that 1v1 too. Forward left, you don't have to be a genius to make moves like that, but in the odd case it might work out. And it also gives me decent position. They decided to make a cluster swap again though, and I think that was a good decision. Here they have a good position on me though. If they decide to double team on me, then I'm in a dangerous spot, so that's why I try to go for a very safe right. Lead Bagla can still do forward left and counter me, but I don't expect them to do that. In a game where the points will be this low, they shouldn't just drop that 3-pointer flag. So that's why I go for the right and consider that a safe move. Here I was actually countering a forward from second Bagla. He made another move though, which I countered to, but it's more, I have to admit that was actually a lucky move. I didn't expect him to do right forward. You have to actually remember him doing right forward here, because it's important later on. Here again I have somewhat strong position. As you can see, we should be about same damage, and I have 1 left and 2 rights. In the tournament he wasn't allowed to cover this 1-pointer, so I know he's actually gonna try dropping that 1-pointer, so he can do left. But I don't think he will have 3 lefts. As you can see, I have 1 left, 0 forwards, 2 rights. Actually 3 forwards and 2 rights. But I don't think he will try to get 3 lefts. Or maybe he can, but it's about 50-50. So I think the other option he has is doing right, pause right, or right forward, pause right, something like that. And I think the option with the rights is more plausible, because I just have one left. I don't think he will have three lefts to do triple left. So that's why I did forward, forward, pass forward. Yeah, here I didn't get lucky. He did the right, pass, pass, right, the other of both moves, and I didn't get to counter him. So here I'm getting to cover more of the cluster again, so Kevin has more room to roam freely. The more points I cover, the more options he has to move. He can drop points, and eventually he might be able to go up shots. So he covers all points though, and still goes up shots. Here left forward, a very safe move for me, but I know the second Bagla is not in a super safe position, so I know he has to move. He can do left forward left, which isn't entirely safe. He can do left forward forward. There's just a lot of moves, but all have a possible counter, so that's why this left forward worked out, I think. So some moves ago I said to remember him doing right forward forward. This is actually the same situation, except he can do a left forward forward, and he went for it again. I expected him to change his move, because last time it didn't work out, but he just he was loyal to his move, I would say, and got +2 on me. So yeah, that's something you need to remember in Gates too. You need to know which these positions we just had are fairly standard. They happen a lot. So if you know what an opponent is actually doing in such situation, then you can take profit from that. And in this case, he did a left forward forward and a right forward forward when we had this position 2 times. So next time I should try to exploit that. Obviously, a good never will change his move whenever he thinks it's needed. Here, second Bagla, if he wants to cover this 1 pointer, then he has to do like right, right, right. So I'm countering that by doing a right myself, which actually forces the lead Bagla to cover the 1 pointer. So he has to stick somewhat close to this position, and that's how we get a small advantage here. Here I'm in a bit of a dangerous spot though. If second Bagla does triple forward, lead Bagla does left, pass, pass, left, then they still cover all points, and I have to make a move because I can't just sit, and I can't just do a right either. So forward, pass, pass, right, it works out. It could have went a lot worse, but yeah. Here, the second Bagla, I could try forward, right, right, or right, right, left, which both could cover potential moves from second Bagla, but as I'm low on moves, I decide to sit and just see what second Bagla is doing. I'm covering the 1 pointer, the 3 and the 1, so I'm fine with sitting. I feel like I'm covering enough to not put too much pressure on Kevin. So by me covering that 1 pointer, he doesn't have to. So that's why I am fine with sitting for now. Now second Bagla is closer to Kevin, so there's more pressure on Kevin, and I have to change my position again a bit. I didn't do a right forward right though, because second Bagla might do forward left pass forward countering me. This again is somewhat interesting. Normally, if it's a 1v1 again, me doing forward right, super safe. Here though, lead Bagla might do a forward right, a second Bagla sitting, then they might make a bit of a wall of that. So I can't do a forward right here. Lead Bagla should of course do forward right, pass forward 10 or something to cover the 3 pointer as well, but the concept is clear, I guess. So that's why I don't do forward right. I was considering to sit as well, but doing 2 forwards is a bit safer. Here, as you will see, we won't get too many points from that thing, but we know second Bagla will try to cover hotspots though, because in a 2v2 like this, the points are gonna be very close, so he's kind of forced to cover the hotspots. So that's why I'm doing forward right right, and I'm almost, yeah, I'm over 70% sure that I will get 2 shots into him. Second Bagla could also sit, but that's dangerous. If I do right forward, Kevin does forward right, then he trades 8 shots in total. Here he could go for this hotspot or this hotspot, but I think he wanted to play a bit more safe and decided it was better to drop some points. Here we thought Kevin was actually lower damage than the second Bagla, so that's why we decided to change positions. I would go to this cluster here and get some healing. So if I get some healing, then I would probably survive till the end of the round if I try to be evasive against the lead Bagla. And Kevin, in our opinion, was lower damage than second Bagla, so that's a winning 1v1. So that's why we decide to change clusters. The goal was for me to survive till end of the round, and for Kevin to either win that 1v1 or just survive as well. Eventually though, I don't play super evasive because I think I can just get 2 free shots here. So that's why I do a right forward. Here is another interesting thing. Normally for lead Bagla against me, left forward would be a fairly safe move for him. Or left pause forward, something like that. In this case though, he can't do it because Kevin can do a right forward pause forward. Him doing right forward pause forward is super safe against the second Bagla, covers a lot of points, and would counter lead Bagla doing something like left forward. So that's why he can't really do that. So that's why me doing pause right is fairly safe. Here I just want, I'm about 50% damage, and I just want to make sure I don't sink till the end of the round. If I don't sink, then the round is pretty much over, so that's why I do a left forward, and I ask Kevin to cover all points here. At this moment there's a lot of pressure on Kevin though, so that's why I have to reposition and start covering the 2 and the 1 again. Here I'm, we dropped the 1 pointer, which shouldn't really happen, but yeah. I'm fairly sure lead Bagla will do a left here, so that's why I'm doing a right. This was, here I really thought I had a read on them. Here again, I might drop points, with lead Bagla bumping me or something. So that's why I asked Kevin to cover the whole lot of this cluster. He can't just do a left forward though, because second Bagla can do right past left forward using the whirlpool. So that's why he goes for a safe move, covering the 1 pointer, which I couldn't get to cover. Yeah, again a somewhat safe move, triple past left. Here I could do a pause forward, because lead Bagla is probably doing right forward then something, but it's only 7 minutes. If we both don't sink, then the game is won. So that's why I go for a safe pause left, even though I think I could actually take 2 shots here. In real case, you should not let opportunities like that just pass by. You should try to exploit them, because on other clusters your teammates might be losing, so you have to make that gap as big as possible. You have to really try to carry, but here, if we win by 1 point or 20 points, it's not a big difference, so that's why I just play it safe. Here again, Kevin is covering the 2 pointer for me, because I have to drop it. Here I think lead bagla might do something with the left, so that's why I'm doing left pause, countering that, but I have to do another right, because he might do left, right, forward, which is a fairly safe move against me, and if I just did a left and 3 pauses, then he would have countered me. This is yeah, this was a strong move by the second bagla. He countered a lot of possible moves I could make, so that was a very good move. Here I decide to set, there's a way second bagla can counter that by doing forward, left, forward, but I don't think he will risk that. I could just do left, left, which is fairly safe, and then him doing forward, left, forward would go down 6 shots. So that's why I think just sitting is safe. He won't risk trying to counter me sitting. Here I can sit though. As you can see, the lead bagla can do a left forward forward and get in my back, take 4 shots and still cover the wall cluster, so that's why I have to move on 3 and 4. That's again why you have to watch the other 1v1 as well. You have to always keep in mind that there's another 1v1 as well that has an influence. From here on I think I'm doing more goofy moves. The game is pretty much won, so my moves didn't matter that much anymore in my opinion. The lead and second bagla here tried to actually trap Kevin with some kind of wall of death, which in my opinion was the right way to play. He had traded a bit and was at some damage, so if they actually wanted to win, they had to force a sink to catch up these 18 points. So trying to set a trap like that was the best option they had. Like, if you have to win, you have to try something. Just playing along as you were playing wouldn't win them the game. Here at this point I thought I was lower damage than both second bagla and lead bagla, so that's why I'm fine trading 4. And I have to do a left, because I would risk him getting in my back. Or well, I didn't really know if he was higher damage or not, but I was fairly sure I wouldn't sink being at this low damage, so that's why I wanted to trade as much as I could, just to see if I could actually get a sink on them. But they probably both were low damage as well. Here again, yeah, a bit of a goofy move, just going in for the trade, seeing if I could get one. Here the last move, I just don't want second bagla to get out of this whirlpool too easily, so that's why I'm doing right pass forward. Right pass forward, right, I think I will do, to actually cover points, and I want Kevin to do left forward. If second bagla then does left pass forward, or left pass right or something, then Kevin has that one covered too. So yeah, we just don't want to get him out, we just don't want to let him get out of that whirlpool too easily. Yeah, that's the game. I hope it was somewhat interesting. It's the first 2v2 I've actually commented on. One thing I have to add though is that second bagla is a very good never, but I think he might have been a bit rusty. In my opinion, he's one of the best nevers in game, and most other players would say the same. He was rated best never of Meridian in 2013 or something, I think, so you can't really judge second bagla from just this game, because he might have been rusty. So that's all I have to say.